When Daniel was 16, his father was sentenced to life in prison for a murder he swore he didn't commit. He still remembered that day. The flashing red and blue lights, his mother crying in the front yard, and his father, handcuffed, whispering one last thing before they took him away. Son, don't ever stop believing in the truth. 15 years later, Daniel finally found it, and the man behind the lie was still walking free. Daniel grew up with that pain in his chest every single day. He watched his mother work 2 jobs, breaking her back to feed him and keep a roof over their heads. Every time she looked at him, he could see the emptiness in her eyes, the kind that comes from losing someone you love to injustice. His father, Samuel Carter, had been a construction worker, a simple, hard-working man, the kind who fixed his neighbor's fences for free and made coffee for his crew every morning. Everyone respected him until that night. A man named Henry Wallace was found dead behind the bar Samuel worked at. The murder weapon? A wrench, one identical to the one Samuel used every day. The lead detective, Detective Roy Barlow, said the evidence was clear. Fingerprints, motive, opportunity. Samuel pleaded his innocence. He said he'd been home that night, but the jury never looked at him the same once Barlow took the stand. And just like that, the word guilty destroyed an entire family. Years later, Daniel became what he once hated, a private investigator. He'd spent half his life digging into files, witness statements, and evidence reports that never made sense. Everything pointed to one thing. Detective Barlow had been hiding something. But what? One night, Daniel got his first real lead. A retired officer who used to work under Barlow reached out. The man's voice trembled over the phone.
"I shouldn't be telling you this," he said. "But your father's case, it wasn't clean. Barlow was in deep with Henry Wallace. Gambling debts, money laundering, all of it. When Wallace got ready to talk, someone needed a scapegoat." Daniel's heart stopped. "Are you saying my dad was framed?" The officer sighed. "I'm saying Barlow made sure of it." That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. Rage burned through him like fire. For years, his family lived in shame, his father rotting away, his mother dying with a broken heart, all because of one corrupt man. He made a decision. He was going to find Barlow. He tracked him down in a small town outside of Cleveland. Barlow had retired years ago. He now lived alone, gray hair, limp in his step, a man who looked haunted by his own shadow. Daniel watched him from across the street, unsure of what to feel. Anger? Pity? Both? Finally, he walked up to the old man's porch. Barlow opened the door slowly, his tired eyes scanning Daniel's face. "Can I help you?" Daniel's voice trembled, but his stare was steady. "You framed my father, Samuel Carter." Barlow froze. His hand shook on the doorknob. After a long silence, he said softly, "Come in." Inside, the air smelled like old whiskey and regret. Dust covered the photo frames of Barlow's family, a family that still had their father. Daniel clenched his fists. "You destroyed mine. My mother died believing my dad was a killer. You slept in your own bed every night knowing the truth." Barlow sat down slowly, his voice cracking. "I was young, dumb. They offered me money, said it was just to push the case a little. I didn't think they'd actually convict him." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. "Didn't think? My father's been in prison for 15 years. Barlow lowered his head, whispering, "And every night I've seen his face. Every night." Daniel took a deep breath. He pulled out a recorder from his pocket. "Then say it. Say you framed him." Barlow looked up, his eyes glistening. "I framed Samuel Carter, and I'll live with that until I die." Daniel sent the recording straight to the district attorney. 2 months later, the truth came out. Evidence had been planted.
witness statements forged, and Samuel Carter, after 15 long years, finally walked out of prison a free man. When Daniel saw his father again, he didn't know what to say. He just ran to him and hugged him tight. Samuel's voice was weak but steady. "You did it, son." Tears streamed down Daniel's face. "I just wanted you home." That night, they sat on the porch of their old house. Samuel looked at the stars and said quietly, "Sometimes justice takes time, but truth always finds a way." Weeks later, Barlow turned himself in. He wrote a letter to Daniel, apologizing not just for framing his father, but for stealing years from their lives. Daniel never replied. He didn't need to. He had already learned what vengeance never could teach him, that forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it sets your soul free. No lie can bury the truth forever. Karma may take its time, but when it comes, it always delivers justice and peace to those who never stopped believing in it.
If this story touched your heart, don't just scroll away. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss another story like this. Comment, "Justice always finds a way," if you believe the truth can never stay buried forever. And remember, here at Crime Vault Stories, every view, every share helps bring the light of truth to the darkness of injustice.